All right, welcome to episode 196 of the Unknown Games podcast. Take two. You never knew about take one. Only myself and Alex know about take one. It's in the secret archives, stuffed way far behind a dark alley. But what is here today is myself and Alex. Like I said, the long awaited return of Alex. By the way, it's been a minute. You've been stuck with me in a head for about a couple episodes, and we're recording this about 3 weeks from our last episode. And yeah, a couple things. Number one, it's episode 196. We're closing in on episode 200, and the next thing is that this is our fifth kind of anniversary of the show. Every year around TGS time, that marks the time when we actually started the podcast. First episode went up on 5 years ago on the 30th.
Like, it's always been 5 years. That's like half a decade.
It's half a decade. I was trying to think about like at what point it just becomes like, oh shoot, we're just like podcast experts or something. I don't know. 5 years is a long time.
It is actually a long time. Yeah.
That is a long time. We have put in some form of work. That's all we've put in some work.
I just can't believe it's been 5 years. Like, for a while we were dating. Like, for a long time, since we started, we like never missed a week.
No, we never missed a week. Like, seriously, up until, and I explained this earlier about for this year, I'm just kind of going through some burnout and working on a side project. But then, of course, you also had some huge news that happened for you. You don't have to say it or anything, but I'm just saying you went back to your homeland and took care of business.
Yeah, that was the go. Yeah.
And it was nice having a break, and also just like remembering like why I like the podcast or why we like to talk about games and everything. And every year, it's like I said, we live here in Japan and we talk about a lot of games, RPGs, JRPGs. I don't know if there's a difference between them, but for some people there is. I don't know. Like, we just love games, and we can't say thanks enough to everyone for being here over the past 5 years. We've added Ehe to the kind of regular roster, which Ehe now has a job.
It's like you're announcing it like it's such a big deal.
It is. We used to call him the DJ kid, and now he's not. He's no longer a kid. He's a kid. He's working he's an adult in the working world now.
Right. Good job, Ehe. We're proud of you.
It's been probably like 3 years since we met Ehe.
Has it been? I think it's been longer than that. It's been at least 4. It's been 4.
It's been 4 years. Like,
because I started streaming in 2020 or 2019. One of the two. I can't remember. I think 2020. I started streaming.
Yeah.
And I remember I met Ehe through streaming because he was like one of my first like regular viewers.
Yeah.
So that's where that all started. So it's been at least 4 years.
Oh my goodness. But yes, thanks to everyone for hanging with us for this long. Hopefully we'll keep the show going. We want to try some new things, and feel free to let us know. There's a couple different ways. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave a comment, or you can also respond to surveys that we put up as well. So, or polls, sorry. But just be sure to look out for those things on Spotify. And then if you are watching or the video on YouTube, leave a comment on the video.
Yeah, leave a comment.
Yeah,
that's actually probably a pretty easy way to get a hold of us.
That's probably the easiest over Spotify. And of course, if you're just listening via audio services such as Google Play Podcasts, iTunes, or Spotify, any of those,
then head on over to our YouTube channel, leave a comment.
Exactly, or leave a 5-star review. We'll never stop pimping that.
Or one of those.
What else always happens at the end of that. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Tokyo Game Show. This is our yearly thing, since we are it's in our backyard, it's in our hometown here in Japan. But this year was crazy. This year, I have to say, was probably the largest Tokyo Game Show for me, definitely in the past 5 years, if not 10. I don't know. We got huge releases coming out next year, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, what were your thoughts coming out of Tokyo Game Show? Like your initial kind of impressions.
I mean, it was definitely busy for
Yeah,
sure. I'll tell you that. Public Day was just nuts, like
Public Day
bad
was
almost, like to the to the point that I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here right now.
no.
But in terms of like the floor, like what was on the floor this year, we got a pretty good mix. Because it's not, I don't want to call it a new console because it's kind of not a new console. We have the PS5 Pro, right? That was on that Sony's booth.
Yep, yep.
Uh, because console cycles recently are kind of slowing down, so it's not like we get to look at new hardware all that often. So that was there. And there's like at least one big title from each major publisher that you're probably like interested in. So Capcom has Monster Hunter, right? That's Capcom's big one, and then Konami has two that they're pimping really hard. Not Resi 2, sorry, whoopsie daisy. Silent Hill 2, and then Metal Gear Solid Delta. From Sega, we have Sega's a little more. Well, Sega has like a dragon,
Well,
right?
well, well. They had
Pirate.
and Shadow. I think Shadow was really huge on that they were pushing as
Well, I
well.
mean, it was a really big part of their booth. I don't know how many people are comparatively excited about Sonic Generations
It's the
rather
year
because
of
it's
Shadow.
yeah. I mean, I like Shadow as a character. He's like everyone's favorite. Every kid who grew up in the 2000s kind of I think like Shadow to some degree, but like Sonic Generations is. I mean, for me personally, it's fine. Like it's not a new
Oh
game
no,
actually, right?
it's
Yeah.
fine. I think Sonic is just he's on the come up still. Like he's still riding a high. With the whole Keanu Reeves DLC, well, voice in the
Yeah,
DLC
that's
kind
kind
of
of cool.
thing.
That's kind of cool.
That's kind
Yeah.
of cool. So they're
But
doing their
yeah,
thing.
Sega's big thing is definitely like a dragon and Shadow, and then not Persona, the other one. Sorry,
Uh,
Fantasia.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Metaphor Re Fantasio, which
yeah,
the demo dropped for that. I've been playing a
yeah.
little bit of it.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the show's fine. There's a lot of cool stuff on the floor. I don't know. I don't know if I couldn't find it, but like MiHoYo wasn't there this year. I feel like I couldn't find their booth.
MiHoYo wasn't there this year. If you no,
Yeah,
they weren't. We had Nikkei and we had Withering Waves
Welding
were
Waves.
there, and
Yeah,
then
Dolls
we
from
had
Land
a
2, I
couple.
think.
Yeah, we had a couple of others, but yeah, MiHoYo was not there. I was
I was surprised because they were here at TGS last year, the year before that, promoting respectively like Star Rail and then Genshin, right?
ZZZ. ZZZ was their, I guess, headliner last year.
Uh, kind
Well, all
of.
three of it because it hadn't released yet.
Yeah, because the booth, if you remember, the booth last year was Star Rail.
Was
Like it was
Star Rail?
the big train from like when you do a gacha roll. That was that.
Yeah.
They were talking about Zelda Zone Zero, but it wasn't out at the time. So I was thinking this year it would be a Zelda Zone Zero themed booth, but
Hmm.
they didn't. They weren't even here. So
They weren't. Yeah. Which I didn't think about that. We didn't. I think this year it felt more balanced in terms of. I mean, we've gone through a lot of years where, like last year, for example, was a lot of blockchain, NFT game, whatever stuff that was there. We had the Corona year where it was like one hall and there was really nothing kind of there at all. And then there was, I think before that, it was just mobile games. And that was during the time where Japan just wasn't really doing a lot of games in the console space. It just wasn't as thriving as it is now. I think with Capcom, though, in the position that they are, this year or next year we're gonna a new Monster Hunter mainline, Monster Hunter Wilds. So that drew a lot of people in. I mean, a lot of people didn't even get to play that game, but they had a huge presence on the show floor as always. And then, like you said, you had Konami. We got Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater. That's coming sometime next year, which is a huge title. Silent Hill 2 at the end of this year. And then you had Sega rolling in with Sega Atlas with three nice games. And I think for me, SNK with a huge booth for Fatal
yeah,
Fury, which they've never
yeah.
had on the
But yeah,
floor.
level 5 was there this year too with a pretty big booth as well.
Level 5, yeah, with Leighton and Inazuma 11.
And
Uh,
also that other one, Fantasy
is the
Life.
Fantasy Life, yeah. They had a
Yeah.
huge booth, which is, I don't think we've seen them like come out since Yokai Watch. Maybe something
I
else,
can't remember
but
it was last year maybe. I think it was last year actually. I vaguely remember level 5 being here last year and it was just like I didn't whatever it was I like didn't care about.
Y-
So
Yeah,
kind of pushed it at the back of my mind. It might have been like I don't know. It doesn't matter. They were here last year, but I just don't remember what they even had. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I think the whole thing with the show floor this year is um
Jesus,
eh,
fuck, so crowded. It was
I took
so
a
crowded.
it was so crowded, and I went all the way back here. This is in this hall. This is like hall 9 through 11,
This is
and
the end of the show. There's like the last couple halls. Yeah.
yeah, where merch is for sale and a lot of the PC stuff is there. I walked all the way to the back through all the merch and everything, and it actually moved pretty smoothly. And I mean,
That's
there was a
good.
little bit of a there was a line at around Square Enix where it just got like really crowded and you couldn't really do much, but kind of waddle through. But I feel like they made some good adjustments to the show overall in terms of how you kind of get in and out. It was a little bit annoying. I don't know if you experienced this, but if you go to hall like from hall 9 through 11 to go back to 1 to 8, you have to do a loop. You can't go through that
Yeah,
normal passage
on
anymore.
public day they won't let you go
Yeah,
back the way you came. You have to like
dude,
leave, which is kind of
dude,
annoying.
it takes forever. Like it
It's
actually is
so
it's so
long, dude.
long to loop
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Makati Messe is like a ridiculously huge venue. There's a lot of stuff that happens at this event hall. It's like one event at least per month, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like a couple months ago was Hatsune Miku Magical Mirai,
Oh yeah, that's true.
and earlier this year would have been like for example like Hollow Fest, the Hall Live convention thing that they do now.
Yeah.
Those events don't take up all 11 halls,
No,
right?
they
Just
just
like
take
one
up
or
just like
two.
one or two or something.
But TGS takes up all of it. It's insane. It's like a huge undertaking. I don't know how big is it? How big is Makuhari Messe? Like all of it.
I wonder, like I kind of want
Dude,
to get numbers.
I got my steps in. So like one day when I was
You
going
got
to
10K?
I got more than 10K easily. Yeah. So I was like walking around the halls. I would go to hall like 2 or hall 1, and I'd come back, and then I'd go out again to like look at some other stuff. I was kind of walking back and forth. The first day we were at TGS, I hit 20K steps just like that. And I was like, my feet were killing me at the end of the day. I was like, this is crazy. This is like so much walking. Holy crap.
No, it was too much. I mean, if going, I think the nice thing is you can usually see everything in one go, almost like
It really
if
depends. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what day you go and like what your intentions are. If you only go for public day, right?
yeah
If you have to only go for public day, you can kind of see all of the show if you kind of just like follow a route. You kind of weave in between all the booths, and you can clear all the halls. It'll take you about maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe a little
yeah.
more. If you stop though, you want to like watch a demo, or you want to watch a presentation, or God forbid you want to wait in line to play a game for 10 minutes. You'll be there for much longer, or you want to buy merch, right? But
Yeah, you will. I mean, I think so. PlayStation was back at the show this year after I don't
a
know
long
two,
time,
three,
yeah,
four
a
years
while,
or
yeah,
something. Like
yeah.
they've been absent from the show, but they had a huge line for Monster Hunter Wilds. A lot of these pictures that I'm showing right now are from Business Day, where it wasn't like I mean, it was still crazy. There were a lot of people who couldn't play even on Business Day for
Business
their
Day 1 was okay, I find. Business Day 2 was when it started to get a little kind of
a little
crazy.
crowded, a little crazy.
Yeah, Public Day 1 was like, I'm out. Like, this sucks, man.
It was, but so like,
Yeah.
so they had a nice little booth set up for
Yeah, the PlayStation part of it. That was
PlayStation.
cool. Business Day 1, this part of the show, the
I
PlayStation booth
wish,
here.
I wish I
It
could
was
have.
chill. It was chill. Yeah, it was
It
really
was
chill.
chill. It was really
Yeah.
chill. The air conditioning didn't break this year, so that was
I
even
like
better.
walked up. Some dude was just playing Monster Hunter. I like walked up behind him, and I'm like kind of watching him. It's like a weird casual experience, right? Like we're friends,
Yeah,
but we're not. It's just a random
it's
journalist or something. But
like thanks, dude.
yeah, yeah.
But as always, Capcom. This wasn't at Capcom. This was at Sony. But they'll always have like the hunters or palicos or Palamutes, whatever, they'll have them there. And this year they had, the new. This was the first time actually realizing the new art direction for the characters of the hunters is just like, yeah, they're just much more realistic looking than in the past, which they always kind of had a little bit of a cartoonish,
Like even more than in Worlds, even more than Worlds.
even more than in Worlds. Um, like Homegirl just looks like I don't know. Maybe they just got much better with more detailed costuming, or just yeah, I
It's probably that because if you
something.
remember like the handler from Worlds, like she looks like a normal
I don't know.
woman.
Handler
Yeah,
from Worlds, she's like they have a slightly something to them. Maybe it's their eyes. I don't know. She's, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? I could be crazy, but it was nice seeing all that. They always have a nice little photo spot.
yeah.
Um, and of course they had. I saw the producers for Street Fighter on a show floor. I wanted to
Cool.
stop and say like hi, but then they're doing business, and so I was like, that
You
would
don't
be
like
very
bother
rude.
them, yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to be that one guy who's like, hey, can I take a picture?
yeah.
But they did have a Marvel vs. Capcom on the show floor being played as well, so it was cool to see like some people playing it. It's not like the most popular fighting game here in Japan, but it was real cool just to
Oh,
see
MVC, I mean,
NBC.
yeah, but
Yeah,
overseas, I think MVC has a really sizable, strong, passionate community.
yeah. And then of course there was Palworld. I didn't actually get a lot of footage of the Palworld booth, but
I
it
didn't
was
either.
right across
No,
from Capcom, and I
yeah,
think for me personally, that was probably the biggest surprise. Was
I didn't know Power was showing up at TGS, to be honest.
I didn't know that. I saw on the map it was like Palworld's gonna have a booth, and I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't know it was gonna be that big.
It's
Like it
huge.
was the same
It's
size
really,
as
really big. Yeah, one of the major booths. Yeah,
they spent money.
they
They
have money.
they have
They
money
s-
and they spent
Did they
it.
sell like 5 million copies in like 2 days or something like that?
It was some crazy number. I
It was
mean,
like an insane number. It was like a crazy number.
they had like cosplayers out here. They had a booth
Yeah.
that you could go inside. They had the pals in like cages or something like that, inflatable pal. I don't know. Like they were giving away, was it stuffed pal? Like not stuffed pals, but
Shirts, I think.
shirts or something. Yeah, like they actually. I was like, okay, you know what? Good on them for being right across from Capcom. If you can't play Monster Hunter, you sure as heck could walk
Yeah,
across the
go hunt
street.
these other monsters.
Go hunt these. Go
Go
hunt
hunt these
these other
ones. Yeah,
monsters.
go make them work in your factory or whatever it is. Yeah.
So that was something that was I don't know. I just wasn't expecting them to have that big of a presence, and it's hopefully uh I mean they'll be okay. Let's get real. I think a lot of people are like, will Pal World be okay? Are they? Is
Yeah, they'll
Nintendo gonna?
probably be
No,
fine. Yeah.
Nintendo's just gonna say, give me a sack of money and don't do this crap again, or else you won't be okay. That
You mean for the patent suit?
for the patent suit, yeah, yeah.
I'm legitimately curious what patent they're
What
suing
what
for.
patents? Apparently, there's
Yeah, like
multiple
what?
patents.
Yeah, like what exactly? Like, or what gameplay mechanic? Does Nintendo have? So
Throwing balls
that
like
specifically, that specific, yeah,
Pokeballs.
yeah. Like
I
I
don't.
don't, we don't
eh,
know it. So maybe we do, but
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that whenever next year or whenever that's settled. It could be
they'll
years from
probably they'll
now.
probably settle out of court. Yeah,
They probably will. It'll probably be like, "Hi, sack of money. Hi,
like get like yeah to have this money and get out of like leave us alone kind of
leave us
thing.
alone. We no longer want this." But anyways, yeah. So that was a huge little thing at the booth. I mean, was there a booth that stood out to you? Like I said, I don't have all the pictures.
Not really, honestly. No, I mean, uh, I don't know. Like I always get kind of impressed by Konami's booth in the last couple years because it's always so damn big.
Yeah,
And they always have like the biggest, flashiest banners. Like it's lights, man. There's times when those banners go like white, and then it just floods the show with just like blinding light. And you're like, what is that? And you look, it's Konami. Um, yeah. So I always get impressed by Konami's booth, but they always have big ass booths. So I don't know if it's as
uh,
impressive. Do you know what I mean? Like.
they always do. It's because they have like a stage in between. But for the past couple years, it's been like I think last year was the Suikoden
Oh
remakes
yeah, it
they
was
announced on their
Suikoden.
stage.
No, but last year was also Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, so they had a part of the stage where you could,
Yeah,
quote unquote here, you could like sneak inside. They had guards kind of walking around patrolling,
The
There
heck?
was like lasers that would trip and then alarms would go off, and it was kind of exciting. It was cool. Like you're like, that's really cool. This year, they have another Metal Gear Solid game that they want to promote. It's Delta, so the section looks kind of jungle-y right here. You know those trees, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of eye-catching. So I always, as a general fan of just Metal Gear Solid, I've appreciated this. I've appreciated the thing from last year. I appreciated not so much Konami's booth the year before that because it's just like
It was
It was like
Yu-Gi-Oh. It
Yu-Gi-Oh
was
and like
Yu-Gi-Oh. It
Pro
was
Evolution
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Soccer. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
like all right, cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
wait,
the thing
yeah.
that makes me laugh about Konami, sorry, the thing that makes me laugh about Konami is that Konami,
You're gonna
like
say
the games
Konami
that
makes
they
games.
yeah, the games that Konami has been making recently is questionable. The more like remaking, let's say they've been focusing on remaking
We
or
just had
remastering games.
Castlevania, the Dominus
Yeah.
collection. Yeah.
So it's so funny to go to TGS to see this huge booth and it's like, what are they promoting? Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters. I'm like, oh my god.
They got
Holy
those
shit,
hidden
Yu-Gi-Oh!
money makers. Or
Yeah.
what's the other game? It's like a pro
Yeah, probably. Or
the
soccer. It's called esports or eFootball. eFootball. It's
yeah,
called
and they
eFootball.
have
Yeah.
the crap. What's there's a baseball one that's been going for like
Uh,
3 decades or something. Yeah, yeah,
Like Yaku Spirits or is that
or
Konami or
something. It's
something like
some
that? Yeah.
baseball with like a deform like a short
Yeah,
baseball
deformed
character.
character. Yeah, yeah. So it's like this huge, like gigantic booth, pumping music, flashing lights, and it's like, check out our new game, Bomberman. Like, what the fuck? Like what? So I don't know. It's really funny to me to see that. 'Cause obviously, Konami has money to burn, right?
They have money to burn, and but you got to play Metal Gear Solid. Like you
Yeah, a
actually
little
got a
bit of
chance to
it.
play
Yeah,
it, and
I didn't get to play the full demo, unfortunately, but I played Delta. Yeah.
it was I was talking to another one of a friend of ours who had played it, and they're like, yeah, because the whole like the game was like the full opening cutscene was in there.
It's the game. Like the build
It's
that
yeah.
it's the build that I played is basically it's Metal Gear Solid. Like it really felt like the game is ready to go. They haven't even announced a date for it yet though, which is
Yeah.
surprising to me. But what I played of the demo is that it's good. It's like I feel like it's ready to go any day now. Like I don't know, what they're doing, but it plays really well. It's basically Metal Gear Solid 3 with updated modern graphics and a modern control scheme. So there you go. If you liked MGS 3, you'll really like Delta.
I said, yeah, if you liked it, you'll
Like the
love
cutscenes are
this
the
one.
exact same. The lines are the
Yeah,
exact same. Direction is the
this
exact same.
yeah,
Yeah.
David Hayter didn't re-record anything. I don't think there's any re-recordings
No, it's
outside of
just
that one
yeah, the cutscenes are the
trailer.
exact same. Yeah. If you ever have you ever like played a PC game and then you're on the internet and they're like, there's a fan made mod texture or mod
This could have
pack.
been this was the
It's
fan
like
made
it's a lot
mod.
like that. It
This is
really
the
yeah, it
fan
could have been
made
like
mod.
that. Yeah. It could have been like a fan was just like, oh, we remade all the textures in the game and we kind of made it run at 4K and we changed
Oh,
the control and that's kind of what it feels like. So
that is. I mean, on a smaller note, I was able to go back the second day and check out Square Enix's booth, and it was a shell of what it normally is. I'm not gonna lie, it was.
because there's no Final Fantasy coming out.
There's no Final Fantasy. They
Yeah.
don't have. They're currently in the midst of getting their act together. Everyone can't be Capcom, so I mean they had a little bit of 14, like some stuff for 14 that was there. Fantasian, the
Was there
some
no FF16 like for the PC version?
no there and
Really?
I think there was 16 on the inside to play, um, maybe, but yeah, Romancing Saga, FF14, Fantasian.
Fantasia, yeah.
Yeah, and then Dragon Quest 3?
That's cool though. Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 1, 2, those are cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Like
nice that they're actually giving people a way to get into this. Like for me, I don't know where to start. And if you look at it, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to what
11 right now,
11
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, are these A related? Do I need
Yes
to
and
play
no.
any of them? And
Yeah,
then
yes and
now
no.
they're like, yeah, now they're like, hey, look, here is 3, 2, 1. Essentially, we're gonna give you something
That's
that
like
you can,
that's the OG arc, yeah.
yeah, like an actual
Yeah.
arc that you can get into. So that's awesome. And I think it's gonna look good.
And
It's gonna be
it
well.
does look good. It's not the sexiest looking game, like it's no Rebirth by any means, right? But
No,
I personally like that art style. So I'm personally jazzed about the remix. So
they're
I mean, yeah, the pixel, the HD 2D kind of thing.
I think that's like, yeah, that's probably their
Yeah, it looks good. It
biggest
looks damn good.
game coming down the pipeline. I did
That's
check
their
out
biggest
the
game, absolutely. Yeah, because we don't know anything about.
the other the other Dragon Quest, the main the next
Yeah,
main
oh,
line
12.
that
Yeah, what the
died.
fuck? What
12
happened to 12? Yeah, 12. We don't
12
know about
turned into
12.
3. It turned into 3-2-1. The stall for time. What if that's what like the actual plan was? It was like, well, we were actually going to put out 12. Oh,
I heard that they're like
Unreal
stuck.
sucks.
I heard that they're like stuck on development. Like they're kind of hit a roadblock in
Well,
regarding direction.
well, there was this whole thing, and we haven't been able to talk about the PlayStation State of Play, but Shift Up, they were talking about Stellar Blade and
Yep.
making it on Unreal or whatever, and Yoko Taro was like, "Man, these guys game looks really good. Like they got great graphics. We don't know how to do this that well in Japan." And I mean, I don't know if that how much of that is just him being Yoko Taro or not, but
Yeah.
you don't see a lot of Japanese games on Unreal though.
Well, I mean, like Final Fantasy 7,
Yeah, that's on Unreal
King
4. And even then,
Kingdom
that
Hearts,
one like is having a little bit of little. I mean, it is. I think it's the largest open world game on Unreal.
7 Rebirth.
7 Rebirth, yeah, one of the largest. So like, there's some, there's technical things, but I don't know. I don't think there's too many. Unreal 5, there's just not many games in general, right? For Unreal
I think
5,
Japanese
Tekken 8
developers
is
they tend to use their own engines or
yeah.
using old engines.
So so the question with FF7 Rebirth is if they'll actually go to if they'll move into Unreal 5 or keep it on Unreal 4 for the last game. That's one of the questions
Yeah, good
people are
question.
curious about.
I have a feeling they'll stick to 4 because uh I feel like they're already like heads down on development for the last game,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they would take the chance to to build the game off 5 if they're not 100% comfortable with it, because I really feel like you haven't played Rebirth yet, right?
No,
But
I'm
like
waiting
remake was
for
a
PS4, PS5
PS5
Pro. There we
Pro,
go.
yeah.
PS5 Pro.
So like remake was a really good start for them to be like, here's us learning this engine and getting our feet wet for this like type of game.
Yeah.
And then Rebirth really feels like they hit their stride in terms of making a game like that. And I feel like for them to switch to 5 for the final game would kind of put their development cycle in jeopardy, because like
Mm.
I think they want to play it a little safe and be like, we know how this engine works now because we spent like so much time working on it. Let's kind of use our skills and our knowledge for this engine and just kind of focus on content, story, and then like kind of stretching it as far as we can. That's just me though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might. Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I hope as part of me hopes that they will make a transition to Unreal 5 if it makes sense for them to do so, if the port process is a little bit easier to get those assets in there, just because I really like playing Wukong and then playing Tekken 8. Those are both Unreal Engine 5 games. They just look really really nice. And then maybe if they can use a little bit more of the PS5 Pro to kind of leverage or make something work a little bit more. We haven't
Yeah.
really seen any Unreal Engine 5 games with the PS5 Pro like shown at the moment. So who
Yeah.
knows
The
how that
question is though,
it's even good
like
or not.
they also have to make the game run on presumably base PS5,
Yeah, yeah.
and like Rebirth on the PS5. Uh, I don't know if I wouldn't want to push
It looks
the
alright.
graphics any harder. I wouldn't want to push it any
It
harder.
looks alright.
Yeah.
And they decided that at least from what Digital Foundry is kind of broken down and what they've seen is that they've kind of done like the bare minimal the for the pro part and just upscaling it, essentially using PSSR to upscale it.
Yeah.
Um, but they haven't put any like extra work into it. I think they're from what they said, they're gonna include the same modes on the PS5 Pro version. There's not like a
Yeah.
version of it, but like you can choose
That makes
between
sense. Yeah. That
all of
makes
those
sense.
things. But yeah. I did take a picture of the Warframe booth really quickly. I just thought it was nice that Warframe was here this year. It's a game that I always like try to get into, or like I like the thought of. I don't know if you have a game where you like the thought of the game. Maybe you don't necessarily play it, but you kind of like you just like you like the world, or you like what's going on, but maybe gameplay wise, because it is a grind, right? It is one of those things
A game that I like the thought of.
that you like the thought of. Like
Well,
I love the
Blue
thought of
Archive. Yeah,
Blue
Blue
yeah,
Archive.
Blue
Yeah.
Archive. You don't have to play it, but you can still enjoy the world or anything that comes out of it.
There's I I'm like, man, I was like, God, should I buy this Blue Archive desk mat? I don't know who this character is, but
It
yeah.
happens. It happens. It happens sometimes. Then there was Dynasty Warrior Origins, which I did get a chance to play. I gotta say, it's my first time playing a Dynasty Warrior since 4, and this is technically 10. I think this is
I
like
don't know,
if
man. I
if it
couldn't tell you,
if it
man. Just
were yeah if it were numbered, it would be 10. But it was fun. Honestly, I was not expecting to have as much fun. They've added, I don't know, like what all they've added in the past X amount of years. So some of the stuff that I played could have been old, but I like the fact that while you're like commanding your troops, or like while you're fighting, you can command your troops to do like tactical commands. There's like one-on-one duels with other generals now, and so you can like challenge them to a duel and lower or raise morale, basically. And then there's I don't know, there was just like a you can swap between the main generals of your army, at least one of them, whoever you're taking in the battle with you, and kind of use them as like a superpower warrior. Because I think the premise of Origins is that you are an unnamed hero, so you're not like a named hero yet who can actually make a full impact on the battle like Guan Yu or Lubu or something like that. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? I turned my mind off while I was playing and I enjoyed it.
are these still like based off history? Like how much more history did they have to go off?
It's a repeating cycle. It's a repeat. They're still based off history, but of course, with loose looseness. I mean, the characters are doing what they did, I believe, in history.
Killing people, yeah, exactly, yeah.
They're using the same battlegrounds and placing these same warriors for the most part in those fights, and then saying, "Hey, this is the strategy that probably happened." I guess I don't know. I don't
All
know.
right.
Anyways, uh, I guess I'm skip over this Tarkov. Did you see the Tarkov booth?
I walked past it, I'll tell you
They,
that.
they they just had soldiers. Well, the staff was dressed up as soldiers with model guns and everything. I was like, not in America.
Oh yeah, you get
not
shot.
not in America.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, probably, that the biggest booth that had the most what do you like, social media presence of people sharing it, was the Nikkei booth
You think so?
with their real life gotcha.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The real life gotcha. Someone in my chat stopped by and was just like, "Oh, so what are they doing at TGS? Like, I hear that they're like, what is Nikkei? What is human
What is
gotcha?"
Nikkei?
Yeah, they're like, "I don't know what this even is." I just saw this floating around on the internet,
Yep.
but they they did a great job of, you walk up, press a button, and it replicates the gotcha screen, but except for
Yep.
with real people behind it.
Yeah, it plays like the music when you do a roll, and then like it looks like when your pull is revealed, then you have like 5 and 5. But yeah, it's just cosplayers.
It's just cosplayers. Which TGS, I don't know, did you see any cool cosplays this year?
Uh Kind of. Not really. I wasn't really around for much of Business Day. I remember seeing man. An Alice, speaking of Nikkei, Alice cosplay. So
Yeah.
she's like she looks like wearing a skin tight pink bodysuit. So
Oh, the
very like
bubblegum girl. I call it like
uh
bubblegum pink, that skin
yeah,
tight
so
suit
very
or
like
whatever.
eye catching because it's just like so bright and also very skin tight.
Yeah.
I saw that, and then I saw a terrifying Frieza cosplayer.
Oh, yeah,
That was
the
scary.
duelist.
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
I had there were I did not get a picture of the Sora and the Roxas that I think we
Oh
both
yeah,
saw. But I did get was this Zach and Aerith, and then is it Rude? Reno?
Okay, so
Rude?
that
The hair is just like
uh
the head is just like
it's rude, but like that's is that supposed to be a bald cap?
it's supposed to be a ball cap, but it's like
He should
he's
have
up
committed. He
he's
should have
up
just like
man.
went bald. He should have committed to
I
it. That
feel
looks really funny.
bad.
That's awful actually. That looks really bad. Upon closer inspection, that's awful. Yeah.
Upon closer, it was all good until
It's
we
like
got to the
wrinkly.
top.
It's like wrinkly. It's like a who's a Grandpa Abe like from The Simpsons like thing going on there like yeah,
Oh
a
man.
wrinkly head.
But the
Yeah.
Yuffie was good. I found
That's
there was
pretty good, yeah.
a Yuffie that walked in and they were like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh." And they're like I was like, "Can I take your picture?" And they're like, "Sure." And they're like, do you need me to take your picture?" I was like, yeah. They're like, "Yeah, sure." And then, anyways,
That's pretty good. That's a good
that
Yuffie,
was
yeah.
that was a good Yuffie. And then I ran into Gambit and Wolverine and Cyclops or Psylocke. Um
It's good.
and
Did you see Deadpool?
yeah, I saw that. So the funny thing is that there was a second Wolverine, but his mask broke. But
Oh.
he was wearing the costume from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, okay. I don't want to spoil that movie for anyone who still hasn't seen it, but
Yeah,
like
that movie. Oh
it's good.
man,
Pretty
that
funny
movie
actually. It's actually
was
pretty
funny,
funny, yeah. Yeah.
and I think anyone can sum it up as in like as a like if you're looking for story of any sort, don't.
It's not
It's
not
fine.
not really. It's kind of thin on the story,
It's kind of
admittedly.
thin
Yeah.
on it, but everything else is like 200%. It's one of the movies that I'm really glad that I didn't watch any trailers for it, and I'm so glad I
Oh,
wasn't spoiled.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so glad nothing was spoiled because every
It's kind
bit
of
of it is
like
worth it.
yeah, it's so many like not just like not Easter eggs, but like just like fan
It's
service.
fan service.
It's like a movie of fan service. It's
It
like
it, it
yeah,
is.
tons
That's
of
literally what it
references,
is.
tons of stuff. Yeah,
And then I also saw, yeah, Jinx was out there. I didn't know if this was an official cos. Like some of these
some of
cosplayers,
them were
like
there for official for the booth. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But this one, I asked, and they're like, "No, this is just my friend's booth. I'm just here." I was like, "Oh,
it's
okay."
crazy.
It's crazy. And then there was the two Terrys, Terry and Terry.
Oh right, forgot about the female one.
Yeah, from
That's only from
SNK
the
Heroines. I think that's what.
yes, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But they were
Gender bend Harry. Yeah.
the year of Terry. Yeah, you know what's so funny? It's like SNK. It used to like when you thought of KOF, it was like Kyo, but like Kyo disappeared, bro. I don't know where that dude is. Kyo's gone, bro.
Well, I mean,
He's like
it's been a
hit. He's like
it's been a long time since we've seen like a Goro game, so it's kind of good to
yeah.
see Terry back, right?
It's really good. I don't know if there's anything else you want to close out with. I had like merch. If you saw any merch or anything.
I don't know. Merch was kind of cool. I didn't like. Did you buy anything or did you know?
Heck no, man. I don't think I've ever bought any merch from other
Never.
booths.
I buy at least one thing every year at TGS. At least
It,
one thing.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
Like the thing I wanted to get, honestly, um, is I wanted to get these not the square booth. Let me go back really quickly. I wanted to buy one of these,
The
not the
baby
Death
bottle.
Strand. No, gosh, this stuff. This is probably I don't know what the most expensive booth is, but it probably has to be
It's
Kojima
probably Death
Productions.
Stranding. It's definitely
It
Cody Pro.
freaking has to be that booth.
Definitely Cody Pro. Yeah.
Everything in here that's for
They're just like
sale is.
have $800 sunglasses. Oh
Did you
man.
see the jacket that he revealed for Death Stranding 2?
No, I didn't.
It's $2,000.
2 grand.
It's
Fuck
two
me.
grand.
It's because Kojima goes all in. He doesn't half-ass anything. So when he does like a collab, he'll be like, "I want to do it with this fashion brand," and they're like, "All right, fashion brand pricing." Like it's just like he never half-ass
Like
anything.
during the stage interview on Sunday,
Yeah.
they kept asking like, so like, why did you choose to work with whoever? Like why, why is and
Yeah.
his answer is always just, I just wanted to work with them.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like,
So they're
yeah,
in the game.
I'm a fan. I kind of like them. That's so
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think this is I forgot it's Torch is the name of this
Yeah,
store.
this stuff is sick. This stuff is so
Fudge,
good.
every
Yeah.
time. This is the second time this year I've seen this. They added the Ronnie now for the statue, but like even the pendants for Elden Ring.
They're so good.
Oh
All
my
the merch is
gosh.
good. The shirts are good. All the accessories are good, and they're all like expensive too. They're like
They're all
top
expensive.
quality. Yeah,
They're
they're
top
top
quality
notch.
expensive.
It's
They're
like I like looking at the stuff, and I'm like, damn, if I were if I were a fan, I would want to
I
buy
would
one of
want it,
these.
yeah. Like I
Yeah,
wanted one of those shirts, but they're like $50 a pop. And I'm
yeah. I
like,
mean,
I don't
well, I mean, what's the most expensive shirt that you've ever bought?
probably 30.
Mine for me, 80. I have an $80
But
shirt.
do you wear it? Like do you
I
wear
that's
it
the thing. That's the
often
thing.
though? Like this
That's the
like I can
thing.
hang this up, but I don't want to
No,
wear it.
that's the thing. I'm afraid to wear
Like
it.
yeah, you get
Yeah,
it's like maybe buy two of these and it's like okay,
like
one is for wear
one to stock, and one to rock. That's
and
the
one to
yeah.
gosh. So
No, yeah, no, you're right. I bought an $80 shirt. I bought it at the Pokemon Center. It's from a brand called King of Games. They do
oh
collabs.
yeah.
Yeah, you've heard of them probably,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they do like shirts and stuff. And they're all so damn good. Like the hoodies are good, the shirts are good, super top quality, like really cool like game hoodies. So I bought a Pokemon shirt. It has like a stitched embroidered starter Pokemon. There's three variations, or four, I think, actually. So like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, Pikachu, and then some stuff on the shoulders, stuff on the back, and it's such a nice shirt. But I don't want to wear it, so I don't wear it because it's
No,
white. Also,
that's
it's white. I know if I wear that, like
you know it's gonna get dirty
yeah,
or
game over. Yeah,
stained, whatever. Like it's game over, like you said. So I, I don't wanna. But Square Enix, they on actual public day, yeah, this line was closed. It is shut down.
I like the Square merch, but here's the thing. Here's my secret, guys. Just go to TGS to look at the merch,
And
but
buy
then
it all
go to their online store and buy it there.
and buy it
Because
there. You really don't
yeah,
have to stand it. I think the only thing that they do, because this year they combined
the music, yeah,
the music and their goods.
yep,
The only reason to really go by this booth is to
is
get
the
this
music.
is to get the signed LPs, get the signed
Yes,
vinyls. That's
yes,
get you one of those and or try to get one. I mean, they're limited, so
they are. They sell. I remember the year that they're doing a near soundtracks, right?
yeah.
They were like gone in the first hour. They were just yeah, people would come pick them up. Just
People
sold them in
people
coil. Yeah, they're
people
good.
come and do it. But no, that I mean that's pretty much all the pictures I took out the show. I didn't get to move as much as I wanted to this year. I know you got to move a little bit more, but it was still
But then I got tired, and the business day was crazy, so I went. Or sorry, public day was crazy, so then I went home. So
you were able to escape the the
yeah, I
darkness of
was
the
like, I
Tokyo
kind
Game
of
Show.
walked around to like some of the floors on public day, and then I was like, I think I got as far as hall 4, maybe. Because I started from the opposite end. I started from like hall 11, then I was kind of working my way to hall 4. I got
Yeah,
like that far, then I was like, nah, I'm gonna go home. So I went home. I was like, I'm
yeah.
gonna beat the rush. I don't want. I'm gonna beat
No,
traffic.
that train,
Yeah,
dude.
the
The
train
train
was
to get to the
fucks.
station
Oh,
was
it's
like
so shitty, dude. Oh my god,
to
it's so
get off
shitty.
the train was another like it
Yeah,
was none of it was. I mean, I will say I was talking to someone. I was like, "Do you think they'll like change this to Tokyo Big Sight or something?" And then it's like, then I thought, this is
that's probably
actually the
worse
bigger
though.
venue. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Messe is way bigger, and then I'm just trying to think about how shittier
the
the trains would
train,
be.
the
Yeah,
monorail thing would be like collapse because then you'd have to go through like
derailed. Like
Tokyo.
yeah, just the weight of people. Like when it
Holy
turns the
crap!
corner and it goes around that loop, and it just top to is derail itself. And the weight.
Falls over.
Yeah, yeah.
um yeah, so I'm that next year I will say that there were more companies, there was a lot more indie space,
Way more
a lot more
people,
indie
man.
games, a lot
Way
more
more
people,
people.
a
Yeah.
lot more
I
press.
don't think they're gonna restrict entry though, to be honest. I think it's kind of
who
good for business, it's good for numbers. 'Cause look how many people came to TGS, and then I think they'll probably not.
who all these influencers and all these press that ain't press. I don't know, man. They got to figure this out because these business days are starting to feel like mini public days.
Oh dude, business day
The
2 was
business
like
days,
I was
no.
like thinking that like people are like, oh, business day 1 is probably as worse as it's gonna get. No one's gonna go
Yeah.
2 days in a row. But like I think some people only went for day 2, seemingly.
Yeah. I mean,
It was way more
feasibly,
crowded.
you shouldn't have to be there all, both days and or all 4 days. Feasibly, you shouldn't have to.
Yeah,
But
depends on your job, depend I guess, but yeah. I love going on business day sometimes because you have the spectrum of people there. You have
mm,
influencers, right? Just people like, online YouTubers, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Online YouTubers,
The offline
YouTubers.
YouTubers.
Yeah, no
YouTubers.
offline YouTubers. Yeah, but no, you have like YouTubers on the floor, and they're just doing their thing. So they're like filming with GoPros. They're filming with their phones. They're filming with like smaller cameras, right?
Yeah.
And then you have next to them, they'll have like a fucking Japanese TV crew with like a shoulder-mounted huge camera with like a $1,000 tripod. It's just like the spectrum of production value here.
But I mean, I gotta say, like, I love business days because you never know who you're gonna see. Like, you
Yeah,
you
you'll
really
bump
don't
into
know
you'll
who's gonna
yeah,
be
bump into people.
next
Yeah,
to you, and you're just like, oh, that's pretty cool.
that's a famous person. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a famous it's kind of games are kind of weird because it's like it's a famous person, but it's not really a famous person. It's like manga, right? You see, if you would ever like meet the actual person who draws your favorite manga, it's like, oh, it's a famous. Nah, your work speaks louder than you do.
yeah. It's like a
You think
dude,
about it.
really. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a normal person. You're like, oh yeah, Keanu Reeves ain't here. Which he was here one year we were here
for Cyberpunk.
for
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. We didn't get to see Keanu walking the floor, but we were in the same building as him.
Who's like the biggest? Who's like the closest equivalent to like a straight up rock star that we have in the industry? Would you say it's Kojima?
Uh,
Like who's our like Taylor Swift? You know what I mean? Like
our Taylor Swift.
our
do
Taylor
we have
Swift.
do we have a Taylor Swift like? I mean, so we used to have Cliff Blazinski back
But I don't.
back
You think
back
he
in
was?
Unreal for Gears of War during that time.
You think he was
like
that
a huge,
level though? You think he was like a fucking like who commands that much like kind of like fan community? You know what I mean? Like
commanding
if they were
the
on the
fans
floor,
is hard. But I mean, Kojima for sure. I think if you got Miyamoto, like Shigeru Miyamoto,
yeah, I mean,
like
probably
he would,
Miyamoto then. Yeah,
everyone
Miyamoto.
would be there. Sakurai,
Yeah.
Sakurai for Smash or whatever.
Smash.
But I don't think people know his face really.
What about
Even with his YouTube, Yoko Taro would be hard.
It depends if he has the mask on or not.
No, he has to have the mask on. What does he look like without the mask? Does he exist without the mask?
That's the thing. Yoko Taro is so smart because like Yoko Taro could be at TGS just without the mask, and I don't think probably was, and I don't think anyone would like know because it's just like
playing Metaphor Re Fantasio.
Yeah,
right in front of us all.
Unless we're just like some random Japanese guy walks up to you and he's like, "What do you think of the game?" You know, like
he's like stealthily.
So what do you think?
I honestly think like him in the mask, like he would definitely have people who would like crowd around him as well.
Yeah, but anyone to that level?
I mean, I think we talked about this before, like very briefly. I don't think we have those type of people coming up anymore. Like not as much. Like so, you had like Warren Spector. You had like
Cliffy B at the time.
Cliffy B, and but these people were people who like made like some old freaking games, right? A dude who does Fable. That
dude who does Fable.
I'm blanking on his name right now. I used Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux.
Yeah.
But those are people like
in the credits. Dude who does Fable.
10 years ago, people would know. Maybe homeboy from Capcom, Sujimoto-san. But then again, that's like a deep cut. Like you have to watch the Monster Hunter Directs to know him, Mr. Monster Hunter, that dude. So I don't know. Like there's just not as many people who are just like known now
for just like being
known,
the face, the celebrity,
the face
games.
Yeah, but I mean that's what Kojima represents. Really, he's one of the few people that says like a Kojima game.
Yeah,
just straight up like throughout any time.
A Hideo Kojima game.
A Hideo Kojima game of an auteur. He's one of the only ones in the industry. I don't know.
Can you imagine if other like you never like start a Mario game? It's just like a Shigeru Miyamoto game or something like that.
Or something. No,
Zelda like Aonuma presents.
You know what? Aonuma would probably he would gain. People would know. I bet you $10 people would start gathering around him, like the people who knew, and then everyone else around him would be like, "Who's that dude?"
This random guy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he made Zelda. Oh, sure, it's a Zelda dude. Oh,
because it's not like it's not like they dress like rock stars, right?
Oh, you know who the other one was? Itagaki. I think it was like Tomo something, Itagaki, the ninja guy and Dead or Alive
Oh, for
guy. He
DOA
was
Ninja
legitimately
guy.
a fucking rock star. That
That was a
motherfucker was
personality. That
actually
guy,
a
yeah,
personality.
I agree. I agree. That guy was fucking like a personality. You're
And
right.
now they have another Dead or Alive game, Venus Pleasure, I think is what it's called. It's like a VR or
Oh, they
something.
announced a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this game was already existed, but now there's like a sequel, follow up, something to it.
Well, like it's like a spin-off to a spin-off. Like I don't think they make
Will they
Dead
ever
or
go
Alive games
back to
to Dead or Alive.
ever? Yeah,
No,
will it?
I think it's way more lucrative, dude. I think they found out the secret to getting money. So
It's
it's
obviously
the answer is boobs.
the answer is those new physics on Stellar Blades
Yeah,
update.
yeah.
I looked at that. I was looking at that on Twitter and like at a restaurant, and then I realized,
You burst out laughing. Oh no, not
I
that.
don't think I can look at boy. If somebody come over here and be like, "What are you looking at?" And I was like,
What are you looking at?
"Shift up, man. Y'all gotta calm
Yo,
down.
yeah, like you should like make
Calm
fun of them for
down."
like, well, obviously Stellar Blade. What's wrong with you?
I only saw
You're
one Eve cosplay. I'm sure there was probably more walking around, maybe, but
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
saw one
yeah.
Eve cosplay. Still going down for me right now. I haven't played Rebirth, so I will admit Rebirth is probably hopefully should get Game of the Year, but I hope that Stellar Blade beats Wukong for Action Game of the Year and Dragon's Dogma too.
Hmm. Interesting.
I'm sipping the I was sipping the Stellar Blade
You're
combat.
on the shift up, like
I
hype
was
train
on the
now.
shift up. I was on the shift up. Like I really enjoyed. I realized how much I really enjoyed.
Stellar's a fun game. No, straight up, yeah.
Yeah,
Like say what you want
and
about
it's
like the
really
character
polished. It's
design.
super
Yeah,
polished.
yeah. Like say what you
Runs
want about
well.
the sexy character design as a game. It's actually pretty fun.
It's fun.
Speaking of therapy, by the way, do you subscribe to Spotify or no, or Google Music or anything?
I'm about to subscribe to Google.
I'm about to.
Wait, what is it called? YouTube Premium or whatever? Because I'm tired of
Yeah, because
ads on my TV.
The Stellar Blade soundtrack's on Spotify now. It's
Oh
just like
yeah,
it's so long. It's a big soundtrack, and it's good,
that's some
dude.
bangers
Music,
in there.
yeah,
Lots of
dude.
them.
Music is awesome. One of the final, but the second last boss fight that you fight, that song is a banger.
Are you talking about the sniper one? What was it like a spider or whatever? Like the Japanese one or the
After that one,
oh
no,
the
that was good too. That was good too. No, it's the second last boss fight of the game. Well, I guess
the
because
God Hand? I call
the
him God
last
Hand,
boss
but I don't know
fight.
what he is.
Because there's a I don't want to spoil it. I mean, it's not like a amazing story to be honest, but like
Oh okay.
it's
Talk
like right
not
before you yeah.
homegirl.
That's good. Yeah, that was a
Before
fun fight. That's a fun fight too.
that fight was fun.
It was a fun
I
fight.
think
Yeah.
yeah, but I do hope Wukong gets art direction.
You think so?
The way that they replicated so much of the temples and all of this stuff, like you can see where the time went to. I finally finished chapter 3. So I'm curious to see what chapter 4 and 5 what those look like. Apparently there's a chapter 6 and they ran out of money. So I don't know
So the
how
game's
that
unfinished or like what?
well from what I hear it's just like, oh, it got bonkers, but apparently it just you can tell. You can
Mm,
tell. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll find out. So anyways, that was TGS 2024 or 2024, and we hope that you all enjoyed our kind of just look back on it. Like I said, 5 years of doing the podcast with Alex, and it's been a good time. I don't know if you have any episodes that you remember.
no, dude. The last 5 years have been a blur, man. I couldn't tell you anything.
There's the ones I remember. We briefly had Kandagawa Jet Girls,
Oh, that was
like
fun.
Kandagawa Jet Girls, which I've still not finished.
I've almost bought that game like so many times because it
I
goes
did
on
buy that
sale.
game.
It like keeps going on sale on like Steam and like PlayStation Network or PlayStation Store or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get bored sometimes. I boot up my PS5 and I'm like, "What's on the store?" And it's like Kanagawa Jet Girls. I'm like, "Oh, maybe."
Freaking Kandagawa Jet Girls.
They
We
have
also
a
had.
spin-off now. Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, I'm not gonna go down that hole.
No,
I mean,
it's free. It's on mobile, but yeah.
it can't be. If it runs at 60 FPS, then sure, maybe.
I mean, it might.
Right. Yeah, we also had
Yep.
that VTuber episode. We've had some great Game of the Year end
Yep.
episodes, and then Geralt's butt, the
Oh,
best
that was
butts
good.
in gaming. We had
Yeah.
that. That was a
Gerald. We should
Geralt.
do that. We should do another of those because now we have like Eve
Stellar.
to
Oh fudge,
yeah
Eve. Ugh.
yeah no because Eve is in
Why did I go
the
like
running.
that?
You just give it to Eve right now, or
We
is
just give it
Gerald still?
to.
Is it still
No,
Gerald?
no,
Yeah.
no. I mean, maybe we can go into deeper categories
We have to like
after
compare curvature and like shine.
the
Yeah.
shine. Yeah, the shine.
It also depends on like what costume. Okay, did you get all the costumes in Sour Blade or no?
I got all the costumes, but I didn't go back to get all the variants because
Ah
there's color
man, because
variants.
they kept adding more.
Well, there's like three for the that DLC. Well, just for the boss rush or whatever. There's one for beating the
Did
boss
you
rush,
beat
and then
boss
like
rush? Did
the
you finish boss rush?
no. I started on hard,
Yeah, because I was here's the thing,
and
because
then
you
I
need
was
to
like,
do you need to do both like endings before you can finish boss rush, right? So I
I
was
have to do
doing
both endings.
you have to do because like if you when you
Oh,
do
you know what?
boss
I
you have to beat the game twice. You have to get both endings. Because
didn't go back and do the other
if
ending.
you don't do both endings, you can't fight one of the bosses in boss rush, right? So you have to
Who the
do
heck
both.
is
You have
that?
to
You have to tell me off stream who the other boss is, like who the
sure,
other
yeah,
last
yeah,
boss.
yeah, sure. It's you'll be probably disappointed, but yeah, you have to beat the game twice before you can finish boss rush.
And now I'm just wondering who the last boss is. The
Oh, I
other
love
lost
no.
boss.
You're not gonna guess it. It's not. You'll never guess it. Truly,
Is it old man?
you'll
I'll be like, is it old man?
you actually won't guess it. So yeah, I'll tell you who it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll end this podcast so I can find out who it is. Maybe it's the I forgot. Mother, was that it? The mother, the little girl. Was Mother a little girl? Oh, I forgot. Like the game was like
A
blending
blur.
in.
All I remember is Eve's ass.
Oh
It's
man, and them
40 hours of
costumes.
it. Yeah, that's 40 hours of it.
Shift up doing the work.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, where can they find you on the internets?
Oh my god, I don't know. I don't really tweet anything. Yeah, I'm still on Twitch, so twitch.tv/read24. Um, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. JST. So I'll be streaming in a couple days here. So come hang out if you're around, or you can check the VOD. I guess it won't be very fun, but if you want to, it's there. That's it.
Nice. Then you can find me on YouTube as well at Ninja Trickster and on Twitch. Currently streaming Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've been playing this really nice game called Tiny Lands, where it's just like spot the difference,
That sounds
and
fun.
it's really peaceful, man. It's
You
cheap
should play
too.
Exit 8. Have you played Exit 8?
I have, you know what? I haven't. We saw it on the show floor,
No,
and it
you should
actually
play. You should play Exit 8. It's a fun stream. I would watch you stream Exit 8. It's a good stream.
it won like a award too
Yeah. Yeah.
for uh Tokyo Game Show, like a best up and coming or something like that,
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah. Stream
Yeah.
it.
Is it a
It's
horror
fun.
game?
It's well, it's not horror. That's not a horror game.
Is
There
it
are moments. There
a
are moments
thriller
in the game where you might jump, but it's not a horror game.
suspense then?
Let's call it suspense. Sure.
Okay.
It's self-induced anxiety. I'll tell you that. It's only scary if you think it's scary. If you kind of know what I mean.
Okay, yes, okay. So this
It's
suspense.
self-induced anxiety. Yeah. So you
Okay.
should play it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's October. Well, yeah, basically it'll be October when this episode goes up. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll add that to my list then. Sweet.
Cool.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back. Well, who knows? Probably, hopefully next week, but if not, the week after next. We'll try to keep it on a weekly schedule. If not, we'll go back. We'll go to a bi-weekly schedule, but we'll figure this out. And once again, leave some feedback and comment on the YouTube channel on the video. Thanks once again for 5 years. And
Yeah. Here's to another 5 where we'll be fucking dead.
oh gosh, let's stay alive.
All right. See you guys later.